We're going to make this as chilled as possible.
Yeah, of course.
How do you know the microphone's working properly?
Because I checked it a minute ago.
You've tested it?
Yeah.
Checked it, and checked again?
Shall I check it again?
No, it's fine. As long as you're
I'll check it
confident
again
that
as
you
we're having
checked
this
it.
conversation, as we're sitting here.
Is this classed as an argument, disagreement, debate?
Yeah, debate.
Debate. Not many people can have a debate. Not many people are educated enough to have a debate. Normally goes into an argument. Have you noticed that with people?
I have noticed that actually.
Mm.
Yeah, because people just get really defensive.
That's correct.
I will check the mic.
You will check the mic. So now we've checked the mic. How's the camera angle?
Camera angle.
Because I can't see that, so now I'm trusting you.
Oh no, do you want to
I mean, if you fuck this up, this is my image, this is my company, down the drain. This is my team at the job centre, first thing Monday.
So, would you like to check your camera?
No,
angle?
just have you checked it and checked again.
I
haven't seen no makeup artist, I've seen no production crew. I mean, I don't normally work under these conditions, but you know, if you're telling me that you've got the camera angle right,
I mean, you look a little bit short.
No need. No need for that whatsoever. No need. If you're confident, I don't want to come across as a diva, you know.
We're going for it.
Are we going for it?
We've checked it.
So these are all the clips you should put at the beginning.
Yes.
So then there's no need for me to introduce myself, because the people that don't know me will be like, who the fuck is this?
Welcome to the channel.
Do you come here often?
No, it's the first time I've been here actually.
I know, so I've heard.
Yeah, it's a nice setup you've got around here.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, go on then, for people who don't know, who are you?
I'm just Aaron.
What do you do?
I'm just Aaron from the block. For the people that don't know me, who am I? I'm a mouthy prick with a tattoo on his face. That pretty much sums it up, but I've got a good art. I think I've got a good art. That's I've been very lucky over the last 7 years now. Managed to build not just a company, a brand, but also, more importantly, a team along the way, which has helped me turn the company into a fucking brand. And that's pretty much it. Day to day, I get to hang out with my team, the closest people I have in my life, and have fun, film it, and invite everybody along for the journey.
In terms of your past life, I don't want to go too much into that, because obviously your first ever podcast you did go into quite a lot of detail, but for those watching this who haven't necessarily seen your first interview,
yep.
Can you just give a snapshot on what your life looked like going back years ago?
Didn't really get a great start. Not many people know, but I was a very sick child. I was born with severe asthma. When I say severe, I used to have an oxygen machine that would be attached to me everywhere I went. It was like an extreme version of what they would call a nebulizer now, that plugs into the mains mask on. So I couldn't go out playing, I couldn't do many things that other children could do. I would have severe asthma attacks. I think on at least 3 occasions I was brought back by paramedics, and there was a brief time that I actually lived on a children's hospital wing. So it was not a normal childhood. Then I went into care. I went to 3 boarding schools in the end. Suffered horrific abuse through the school period. Then the only way out was to get myself out, think of ways to get myself out, because at the time no one really believed what was going on. So I forced myself out of school by getting kicked out. And then went straight into, I suppose, what we would call the adult world. Self-sufficient, self-survival, and working. And then doing the fuck-ups, going to prison, coming out. And it was only then, by having the right people around me, mainly my grandmother and 2 very influential, close friends, I ended up, I suppose, being the person that I am.
What did you go to prison for?
I went to prison for a few things. One was to do with a book which was a Harry Potter book, actually, which was a new release book. It was worth a lot of money at the time because bookies were taking bets on who died in there, but that wasn't actually the main thing, but it was the most high profile thing at the time. And the funny thing about that is I knew nothing about it at the time. That was one thing I didn't do. I had no part in it, I didn't steal anything. I was just involved in the transaction at the time, and I didn't know that it was about a fucking book.
Okay.
I thought it was about drugs. Doesn't make it any better, I don't know which is worse. But I had a lot of other charges, from the theft to the blackmail to the assaults to possession of the firearms counts. Luckily the firearm, even though it was a real firearm, it was only loaded with blank ammunition, basically fake bullets. They just make a noise. And there was some assaults and some other things. But I was wanted for so many things at the time. They had such an investigation on me, such a large one, where when that happened, they just threw everything at me, and then blew that one up in the media. And yeah, that was it. I sort of took the brunt for the things that I did do and also the things that I didn't do.
How did that make you feel, the fact that you were taking the blunt for things that you didn't do?
I was 19 years old. I was looking between 6 and 10 years, and first offence, and I ended up getting 4.5. So in one aspect, I was thinking I've just got a touch.
Mm-hmm.
But then, yeah, it dawned on me very quickly, this so-called fucking code doesn't exist. No one gives a fuck about you. No one gives a fuck about you but you. And it's sad to see, because I do get to do some talks to kids, people that have fucked up, to let them know that their life isn't over.
Mm-hmm.
And what are you doing? And when they say, well, you know, there's a code, there is no fucking code. You think there's a code. But when you go to jail, even the biggest and baddest looking ones are the biggest and baddest rats. You know, you have a fight with them and they lose, they're the ones that are pressing charges against you in prison. It's all bullshit. So it's self-survival. You got to think of yourself, think of number one. You know, I mean, I was 19 years old. Yes, I kept my mouth shut. It's still years wasted out of my life. Now, I'm in that position where the only people I'm loyal to are the people in my team. Anybody out of that, just because you know me, doesn't make you a part of my team. Just because I'm associated or I've known you for many years, doesn't make you a part of my team. My team are the people that I look after. Everybody outside of that, I couldn't give a fuck about that, because they don't give a fuck about me. And trust me, it's evident when shit hits the fan.
How did you get on in prison, obviously?
I was an arsehole. I was very awkward. I didn't really communicate with many people. I was very blunt and very rude. But the people that I did talk to, I was okay with. I think people didn't really know how to take me. But there was sort of like there's always a mutual respect in prison. And it all depends on what prison you go to and what wings you end up on. I mean, in the end, I ended up in a lifers prison, on a lifers wing, and it's a lot more easier because people just want an easier life. You know, people still don't fuck around, but there's certain boundaries, you know, that people have with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas when I first went to prison, I went into a YOI, which is a young youth offenders. I was 19, so it's between, if I get this right, 18 to 21 year olds. They're the crazy ones, because all the kids have something to fucking prove, you know. It's just testosterone flying everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But then I ended up hurting somebody pretty bad, and I got what's called starred up, which they now stop now. And starred up was if that particular prison can't handle you, or they think that you're worse than maybe what you are, or maybe you are bad, they star you up, so they put you in an adult prison, on an adult wing, or the wings that were appropriate. So I got moved straight out of Glen Parva, and I got starred up to another jail.
Do you regret hurting the guy quite bad?
No, not at all. Not at all. No.
When was your changing point? At what point did you go, enough's enough, I need to get my life on the straight and narrow and make a success of myself?
I don't think you can change. I think you just learn to be a better person.
Okay.
You can't change. That's just like, if you can change, listen, you can't stop a paedophile from being a paedophile. You can't take away somebody who has anger issues and then all of a sudden they don't have anger issues anymore. There will always be something in the back of their head that will give them that trigger, you know? So, you know, with a paedophile, there will be something that will give them that temptation. There will be, same with a rapist, same with somebody who's got anger issues, there'll be a trigger, you know? You can learn to control it a lot better, but I don't ever believe that you'll ever get rid of that anger. Okay. It'll always be there, you know? But I think you can learn to be a better person. I think that comes down to who you surround yourself with. I mean, I was always that short kid, skinny kid, and then when I started training and working on the doors, I'm working with men in clubs. You know, they don't know me. I'm not known by anybody, so I want to impress everybody. So I'm the first one in. I'm always the first one to prove a point. I'm always trying to prove a point. And I believe you become a product of who you hang around with. A saying, something that somebody said to me, it's always stuck with me. If you hang around with crackheads, you're going to be a crackhead. So if you hang around with, you know, positive or influential people, genuine ones, I'm not on about the fake public figures that we see online, I'm on about genuine, influential people that are going places, you're going to end up going places too. That is a fact of life. So I don't believe you can change. I believe you learn how to be a better person. And to be honest, I don't really want to change, because I know to a point what my triggers are. I know how I am. I think when you learn more about yourself, not only do you become a better person, you have the opportunity to use it when you want, to your advantage, if that makes sense. So, you know, you don't want to change completely who you are. Get rid of everything that you've had to go through, you know, all these mixtures of feelings and emotions, and then, you know, you're a perfect person for society, because then you become weak, then you become what we call a professional victim. Don't want to do that. I'm happy with the way I am. I just want to be a better version.
So how have you done it then? How have you changed your life around from someone who was in prison at such a young age? How have you turned your life around to now owning successful business?
Well, I suppose you'll have to ask the team that, because we've got different sort of opinions. I would say it's just luck. They think I'm good at certain things, but I know none of this would have worked without them. So that's just a mixture of opinions. I mean, I explained how the business worked in the first podcast with James English, which was my first ever outside interview. This is my second outside interview. And the reason why I'm doing this is because you come across really well to Winston, who you interviewed, right? So, I don't know, persistent is probably the word. Confident there's a difference between cocky and confident.
Okay, what's the difference?
A cocky person will think they're owed everything, they deserve everything, yeah? A confident person is, I know what I want, and I'm going to get what I want, and I don't care how I fucking do it. Okay, now that doesn't mean against the law or breaking any certain rules or regulation. It just means I'm going to do everything within my power, thinking outside the box to get what I want. You know, that's confidence. Even if you're not confident, acting confidence, that's still confident in some way. That's what I believe.
So for someone who's watching this, if they're wanting to build a business, be successful, is that what you'd say to them then, in terms of just act confident and that will come, or?
You've got to take your time. So with business, I've learned so much, not just about business, but in life over the 6-7 years. So I had a head injury in 2006. Now before that, I was terrible at maths, terrible of concentration, terrible at everything. It was only after that I started to develop certain skills, and it's called, there's a name for it, where you get certain intelligence benefits, if you will, after having head trauma. And this seems to be one, because I was never like this.
Do you think it was more of the case that caused you to change in terms of brain-wise, or do you think it was more of the case your outlook on life changed?
My outlook on life changed, but that had a lot to do with the journey that I've been on. From my experience, I do not believe that there is one successful person in this world, in business, that has not made certain risks or sacrifices. Don't believe that. They all have, whether it's with their wives, their family, their kids, something they would have had to have sacrificed. But you can't feel guilty for that, because if you don't, you're not going to get to where you want to be. Okay, so you could say, no, my kids come first, my kids come first. Of course, I'm not saying you can go to prison for your kids, but you need to make a fucking decision. You're going to have to sacrifice time in order to give them a better fucking life. It's as simple as that. You can't have both, and it's what you're prepared to do and how far you're prepared to go. I'm very lucky with the fact, because of the team that I've built, even though I live in Spain, my kids, I've never been away from them since the day they were born. And I can, I suppose, afford, and I have the resources to get some of the team to bring my kids back and forward on a plane, which is like 2-3 hours. So I get to spend 3-4 weeks at a time. They go back for a week and then 3-4 weeks at a time. Get that that's not easy, and not everybody gets to do that, especially when you start off in business, but there were still sacrifices that I had to make along the way.
What was your biggest sacrifice?
At the time, biggest sacrifice is going to have to be not spending as much time with Archie. Alicia was different because she's older, so of course I was always around her. When the business took off, that's when Archie was born, so I got less time with him. But there's been too many sacrifices. There's been too many sacrifices in order for one to be more than the other.
Is it worth it?
Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
Which is good, because sometimes when you're talking to like business people and you ask them that question, they're hesitant.
No, not at all. I think it's worth it.
Having that focus on the end goal, is that what has helped you achieve?
How do you know I've got an end goal?
You said about 2 questions ago.
I talked about an end goal. I didn't say that I had an end goal.
So you haven't got an end goal.
I do have an end goal.
There you go.
Okay. Did I say that?
You definitely did.
Did I?
Yeah.
Or was that a conversation we had 2 days ago?
Might be. Either way, I know you've got an end goal.
You know I've got an end goal. No, it was not fucking it up and losing everything along the way. Because there's too many people out there that would love to watch me fail. So that's what drives me. People that fucked me up at the beginning, they can't help but watch now. They have to watch, because they don't know when I'm going to bring them back up. And then you've got the people that are watching for the entertainment factor because they want to see you fail, which is nasty. Some of the they're not all fans and followers that watch. There was one comment, you get it all the time, people just go on and just put, I don't know, some ridiculous comment, some abuse or think they're being funny. And I remember replying to a comment saying, what, but you're watching. Someone put, who actually watches this fucking idiot, his videos bore me, you do nothing but show off, you're a fucking idiot, you're this, you're this, you're this. I know for a fact you do drugs, you sell drugs, your business is money laundering. And it just went on. So I replied, but you're watching, right? And then he replied, yeah, I'm watching because one day I'm going to see you fail. And I was like, oh, wow, you fucker. What a nasty thing to do. You've clearly got nothing better to do with your life. That is the only thing. So the fact that you're doing that makes me just not want to fail. So what you're doing is you're not only giving me content, you're not only giving me things to talk about, but you're giving me you're giving me that fire inside. I can't fail. I can't do that because there's too many people that want to see me fail. So, and if I fail at something, then you just won't know.
Thing is, people always want you to do well, but no one wants you to do better than them.
Yeah, that's with most people. Yeah, I would agree with that.
And you mentioned about these people who were probably there at the start, who now want to see you fail,
Yeah.
and waiting for you to bring them back up. Would you bring them back up?
Yeah, and I do.
Would you?
Often. I'm a relentless fucker. Because now I have a power. Now I have social media. Now they can't shut me up. I mean, they can try. PC Dickhead couldn't shut me up. The police tried to sue me. They lost. When the bullying happened at school, the schools couldn't do anything. The family courts, they tried to take injunctions out on me. They tried to slap me with court orders. They did. And then I got out of them too. So as long as you're careful, as long as you're you do things and word things correctly online, it's pretty easy to fuck somebody up. So them that fucked me from the start, every now and then I bring them up. Now you do get some people, why? Just get on with your life. Why do you think about them? That's negative. Well, because I can't ever let that shit go. I don't want to.
Do you hold grudges?
Yes.
Would you say that's a power or a weakness?
Some people will probably say it's a weakness. I think it's a power. Why should I allow somebody to get away with what they did? Why should I do that? Why should I move on?
Has that ever caused you a hinder in terms of growing your business?
No.
Or growing as a person?
No, if anything, it actually benefits my business.
Okay.
Because again, it's content. Because I'm talking about factual information, I'm talking about what somebody that's done, not only that's wrong to me, but wrong to other people. Like con artists, in a fact. I mean, for instance, there's a woman who not only got involved in my last business with her partner, instigated a lot of things with my ex-business partner and my ex-girlfriend. She was a nasty piece of work. She just went out of her way to get involved in the business, even when I lost the business. And then she just went out of her way to troll me. What I later found out is, as everything took off for me, see, if me and you fall out, just don't talk to me. You block me, I'll block you. If me and you are in a relationship, then let's end it. I mean, the best thing to do again, you block me, I block you, and then we don't have to see anything about each other. That's the best thing to do. What I don't get is when we split up or when we go our own different ways, whether you're in a friend or a relationship, why you would have to continue to follow me, why you would persist in that and getting involved in my life, making up fake accounts. So when everything went big, what they did at the beginning, they tried to make up fake accounts. They tried to inbox fans and followers. My ex-business partner, his wife, her friend, this woman that I'm talking about, my ex-partner, were all making up fake Facebook accounts, inboxing people's wives, girlfriends. What are you doing with that dickhead when you could be with Aaron Lambo, and then giving out my address, trying to cause all this stuff, which they were later arrested for and they pleaded guilty for. Very fucking strange people. So what I do is I out them. Why should I forget about that? What you tried to do was nasty and it tried to fuck up everything. So you could say, just move on with your life. Well, no, I want to warn people as well, and it's giving me content. So what they're doing is they're helping me in some way, and they're helping everybody watching, because there's a lot of people that want what I've got. There's a lot of people that want a career in social media. Fuck knows why, but there is people out there that want that. Well, then you have to be aware of what the lengths of what where people will go, you know, just to try and fuck you up. And it's nasty. This same woman then opened up a Just Giving page. Her name is Claire Shelton. She opened up a Just Giving page under my company name to try and get money for a mum who had a brain tumour, who's never had a brain tumour.
Sick.
Yeah, these are the levels that people go to, and they're sitting there laughing, they're joking, they think they're funny because they're having digs at me. They think they're funny when they're stressing me out. But all of a sudden, when I explode and I get big, now it's my turn to have a bit of entertainment. Every now and then I'll bring up their name. Every now and then I'll reshare some of the stuff that they used to do. Why the fuck should we let them get away with things like that? Because it's nothing but internet trolling and bullying. There are people that are mentally weaker that have killed themselves over internet bullying and trolling, and it's because of people like this. So no, I'm fucking relentless, you know. If you don't like me, stay away from me and leave me the fuck alone. It's not difficult. If you don't, then I'm going to respond. But I'm not going to do it physically like I used to before.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do it with a bit of intelligence this time. Bad, isn't it?
It's not bad. It's not like people. Honestly, what you just said about that person, it's unbearable to even think about. Like
It is, but there are many others that have done many other things that you would not believe.
you've had a lot of people who have almost like done you dirty.
Yeah.
That must knock your trust big time. So how have you managed to get a team now that you trust with your businesses, you trust with your friends? How do you get that after having so many people who've almost stabbed you in the back?
That one, I suppose, has just been life. Life's just happened. Things have just happened for the right reasons. Good thing about social media, when you're in the public eye, so to speak, when you have somebody that wants to make up shit about you, it's quite easy to respond.
Mm-hmm.
The more lies you tell about me, the more truths I will tell about you. So there's a gym owner around the corner here. We've got a lot of history. We don't like each other. Right? He's a fucking idiot in every sense of the word. He cannot bear his members training in any other gym. You don't own your members. They can train wherever they want. Because I've blown up, he doesn't like it, and all he does is criticise and go online in Facebook groups and slag off me, slag off my kids, and he does that. Well, you're very stupid because you've got 1,000 followers. I've got 1 million, whatever it is, just on Facebook alone.
1,000,270 odd.
Something like that. So, what I did is I know about him. So I went on Google and I got the newspaper reports from when he went to prison for selling date rape. Post. That's factual information. Where do you want to go with this? You want to keep going? So now, what I need to do is protect myself and protect my business along the way. And I suppose building a team, but you can't just go out and put advertisements up, for I need a best friend, please apply. I need somebody to run this for me, please apply, because you're going to get the wrong people that are going to be around you for the wrong reasons. You've got to test people. So when things like this was happening with that gym owner, with my ex-business partner, with other people, there were certain people in the background that were on my side, that were helping me, that looked after my things, my interests, my business. When I wasn't capable of doing it at the time. And I remembered that. There are people from my past that really did look after me, that taught me a lot. And I remembered that. So I got these individuals and I tested them. Didn't offer them a job. I tested them along the way. Every single member of my team will tell you they started off on the lowest. They started off not knowing what was going on. They started off not knowing what they were going to do. And they've started off from the very bottom in the company. Everybody that joins the team has to start off from the very bottom. They all have their own responsibilities, but they can all do each other's jobs, from gym management, from cleaning, from making coffees, all the way to packing orders, maintenance on machines, emails, whatever it may be. Everybody can do everybody's job. So there's a process that I've put everybody through. Isn't the right way to go. I suppose if what governing body you would call it, but a governing body that looks after employees, for instance, in the workplace, they wouldn't agree with it. But it's what's built the team and made it the way it is. And I wouldn't have it any other way, and I'm convinced they wouldn't either.
Having that team and having that good support network, has that had any impact on your success?
It's helped me build it to the level that it's at, without a doubt. And it wouldn't have even been possible to be at the level that we're at. Nor would we even be able to see where we're going without their sacrifices and their input. No, without a doubt.
You sound very thankful for your team, which is nice.
Yeah, because there is no break times, there's no lunch times, there's no set hours, there's no holiday pay. Sorry, there's no holidays, There's no sick leaves, nothing like that. The whole brand is 24 hours because of the magnitude of, because of the size of it, because of the problems that could happen, the emergencies that could happen. And I don't ever expect them to say no, unless it's a genuine family reason, like for instance, I don't know, their kids are sick or something like that. That is the only thing. But when it comes to holidays, before people start thinking, fucking hell, what, they locked in a cage? No. But he's not locked in a cage and fed a sandwich every hour.
That's why it's called mental hamster.
But it's, yeah, it's called a zoo because they're locked in a zoo, you're treating them like animals. No. Because they also get the benefits of that as well. So if they want a week off, they don't have to tell me they want a week off for a holiday. They don't have to tell me they're sick. They can just say, I don't want to come in for a week. They can take a week off. They can have as many of them as they want. It's always on full pay. The conditions are you always have your phone on you. So you're always contactable. You know, you don't have a dinner break, break times, because you can have that whenever you want throughout the day. Take as much time off throughout the day. They know what needs to be done, and not one member takes the piss. But this is why we have the process, because you find out whether people will fit in the team or whether they will take the piss or whether they won't. It's a process that I can't explain. It's a process that I don't want to explain in detail, the process to be a team member within the mental brand, because that will defeat the purpose of it being a fucking process. But there is a process, and one thing I can say is at the end of it, it's fucking worth it. You can't teach loyalty and trust, you can teach everything else. So that's the reason why we do what we do. But at the end of it, there's a team that is just incredible. I mean, that's all I have in life. That's my family. Some of them are in the team are blood related, some of them aren't, but all of them mean just as much to me as each other.
I was quite privileged to spend a bit of time with yourself and the team, and I have to say, your close network when you're out and about, and it's lovely to see that team environment outside the workplace. It's not all work, you do have a bit of fun, but also when we were out, you were constantly coming up with different ideas, constantly ways to improve. How does your brain think like that?
Well, firstly, let me ask you a question. You saw that firsthand. That's pretty much how I am all the time.
Okay.
The team will tell you. We have no production crew. We have no professional thinkers. It's just us. What would you say to the people that accuse me of being fake?
I've seen it firsthand, definitely not. I don't think you could be fake.
No, it's not possible. That's it. That's pretty much how it is. This is one of the things that happened after my head injury. I never used to be a constant thinker of ideas. Something was triggered. And now I just see, not so much with just business all the time, but I see opportunities with everything. I'll see opportunities with you. So after I get to know you, and I know your interests, and I hang around with you like I do Biddy, I'll see things and I'll be like, oh fuck, you can benefit out of that. Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Because I'll see opportunities. Just, I don't know. It's just something that I've developed. It helps. That's what helps us come up with the wacky ideas that you would think would never work in any other company or brand, but they seem to work for us.
There's a term that money makes money. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I can vouch for that. But money can also lose money.
In what way?
When you get to a certain level, you will get every man and his dog trying to tell you what you want to hear because they want what you've got. They will sell you the dream, they will sell you everything, they will pretend they know what they're doing, but what you've got to do is always keep logic as number one. Okay, so if you're telling me you can contribute this, you can do this, you can do that, the first thing, well, a lot of the time, they will tell you what they have, what they've achieved. You know, so then, okay, well, you're telling me that You can get me this, you can get me that, but let me look at what you have.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a certain logic that comes into play. So I've never paid for one Facebook ad, never paid for one follower, never paid for any of that, but I do get contacted by people that want to sell me followers. Well, one, they're not going to be genuine followers, and two, they're not going to benefit my brand at all, because I'm going to want real people that are going to buy products. And if you want to be a sponsored athlete or you want to be endorsed, okay, the more followers you have, I suppose you can have a short term, and it won't be long term, it will be short term over a few years, where you can, I suppose, earn money from that or get free stuff. Okay, that'll benefit you. For me, it won't, because I own everything. I'm not endorsed, I'm not sponsored. Having said that, I think it's important to not be blinded by what they're offering you. So when it comes to these people that are, for argument's sake, use an example, they're trying to sell you followers or get you some sort of status, or they're promising you, then look on their profile.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you've got, what, 500 followers, 1,000 followers, and you're telling me that you can get me 1 million. Well, you're going to have an interest, so why haven't you got 1 million?
Yeah.
Why are you not earning money out of your interest? You know, that doesn't make sense to me. You're not, that's logic. So, tend to steer away from that. But money can also lose money, because you can get carried away with money, you can spend it all, you can not think of what you need to keep money away for, tax, VAT, personal tax, PAYE, corporation tax, that's just a name for you. Then you've got investments in machines, especially if you're making it yourself, investments within yourself, investments within the team. We call it, you heard that term, rob Peter to pay Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's more like rob Peter to pay Boris. Mainly, you've got to fucking constantly be on top of your game, especially when it comes to the government. But money can also lose money if you're not fucking sensible, and it's easy to get carried away, which is another reason why it's so important to have the right people around you. You have the wrong people around you that think it's great to party all the time and to spend money, and when you're in the public eye, the club owners love you, they want to give you free drinks, they want to give you free drugs. It's easy to get carried away with that fucking spiral of shit and fakeness. So you have to have an element of self-control and control over your team. And they need control over themselves, and that's why the brand comes first. And that's another reason why I have, and gives you another idea of the process that I have. If the brand doesn't come first, you're no good to me or the fucking team.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you fuck up the brand, it fucks up the opportunities for everybody else. So it's not just a greedy thing on my part. It's the responsibility that I have for everybody else. And there is no going back when they fuck up. There is no second chance when they fuck up. They know that, I've proved that. And they're with me 100% on that. But yeah, money makes money, but money can also fuck things up too. So you have to have, and you have to have self-control, and you have to have the right people that are also on the same wavelength. Of course, go out and party. Of course, go out and have fun. What we do is we treat it as work, especially if we go to clubs, because that's when it gets busy. That's when you have 30, 40 people that want pictures. That's when we have to arrange security. That we do what we call for the gram, for the Facebook, for things. But if I want to spend personal time with Billy, if I want to spend time with my nan, my sister, we don't announce where we're going, and we'll go somewhere quiet, You should think like this, especially if you want a career, if you will, on social media. The best thing you can do is learn to control your social media. Don't let it control you. You don't need to post where you are every day. What you can do is you can post where you are today, but you can do that in 2 days' time. Keep people guessing, so people never know where you are at any one time. And it's also good security for you. It doesn't matter who you are, where you are, especially if you have nice things. Also, it gives you content, and it gives you a personal life. If you're out with your partner, if you're out with your family, the last thing they want is to see you on the fucking phone all the time. So you can take the pictures, you can do that, but you can post about it in a day or two. It doesn't have to be right now. Learn to control your social media. Don't let your social media control you. And I think that's where a lot of people are going wrong at the minute. They can't have a conversation without being on their phone. That didn't happen with me and Billy the other like when you were there.
Yeah.
We're having conversations. No, we're having fun. You know. If we see an opportunity, if something comes up, then we'll do a quick video or we'll take some pictures. But we're not being, fuck that.
Get that mindset though for like young kids, and social media's their be all and end all. Yeah. They'll be sitting. Well, it's like McDonald's. This is one of my pet hates. When you're in McDonald's and you've got those iPad screens, what's that teaching kids?
Yeah, I don't allow my children to have an iPad at the dinner table. We have conversation time. But then I'm a firm believer that's why my children read fucking books. That's why they excel in school. That's why. My daughter's 12, she's never had a computer console. Never had an Xbox. Her mum brought her it, and me and her mum get on really well. Her mum works for me, she does my accounts. But when her mum brought her an Xbox for Christmas, and I said no, and I explained to her mum why not, and she agreed. So then she'd already given Leah the Xbox, and I had to sit down and tell Leah, well, we had to take it back to the shop. She didn't cry, she didn't moan, she understood completely, because she's too clever for that bullshit. Now, if she wants to use her iPad, that's cool, but it's educational stuff. You know, when we watch, we have daddy and daughter movie night, or daddy and son movie night. We watch their movies, but we also watch a movie that daddy grew up on, like Drop Dead Fred or Turner and Hooch or something, so they get a little bit of the classic stuff as well. I don't know, I think a lot of that comes down to parenting. But yeah, I agree, what the fuck are we teaching them? It's bad enough for us as adults to have social media. It's unpoliced, it's dangerous, it's bullshit, it's creating a complex in people, young people. It's creating a life that doesn't exist. People think that these social media reality stars own this fucking car that they're standing next to having a picture saying killing it. Most of the time they don't own it. But they're creating this false persona. But then on the upside, it's also creating a market for someone to come along and be honest like me. I say with my products, this isn't going to make you Mr. Olympia or Miss World, but this will make you the better version of you. This is how you do it. Don't take too much. I say on the videos, if you do, you'll die. A very quick and painful death, but you'll die. So don't do that. You know, and we put a bit of humour behind it, but we're fucking honest with stuff. You know, I don't have a brand new fucking Bentley. I have one that's 2-3 years old, but I don't pretend I do have a brand new one. And I'm still fucking proud of what I've got. And then when I post things, I put, you can fucking get it too. If I've got it, you can. There's more than one way of getting a fucking Bentley. If you get 4 people out of London, random people that have all got Bentleys, and they're all within 3 years old, one might be a brand new one, a 2-year-old, a 3-year-old one. You get them 3-4 people, I guarantee you they didn't all get the same car from the same Bentley dealership. I guarantee you that not all of them paid the same price, and I guarantee you not all of them paid full price. Everybody went their own way in life to get that particular Bentley. So that tells you there's more than one way to go and get that fucking car. You don't necessarily need £1 million in the bank to have a millionaire's lifestyle. You don't need that. But at the same time, if you want to build something that's real and genuine and long lasting, then you have to be honest. But what are we teaching our kids? Well, I can't comment on other people, but I teach my kids values. They will never be scared of anything. They're not scared of things that are different. They're educated, and I do what I feel is right. I suppose like any parent, but I do believe many parents are fucking lazy. If we're going to be honest with them, they give in to the iPads. They give in to things because they want an easy life, and that isn't parenting. And that isn't going to give you an easy life in the end. But, you know, their kids are not my business.
To your kids, you're a big teddy bear. To someone outside, if you're walking down the street, you probably come across as a little bit scary. Like, you've got your face tattoo, muscles, and have you ever noticed that?
No, you don't know. Sort of, you forget that you've got a face tattoo most of the time. And, no, if people are scared, it certainly isn't my intention, and no, I don't notice it because I don't intend to be that way. I always use my please and thank yous. It's, places like service stations, just in general. Make conversation, make eye contact, be polite. If people take me in that way, again, other people's opinions on me is none of my business.
Now, I don't know if you'll remember it, but there was an occasion where I think on Hospital Hill, there was an old lady waiting for a bus.
How do you know about that? How do you know about that? I got a fucking parking ticket because of that.
Did you?
Yeah, fucking hell. Yeah, I saw. Oh, you want me to tell the story?
Come on, share the story.
I was with Biggles. We were in the van, and we saw an old lady with a Zimmer frame. She was about 80 odd, and she'd stopped. She'd frozen. She was stuck in that position, and I was looking, and something wasn't right. And I thought, oh fuck, Biggles, I don't think there's something right there. And he went, nah, she don't look well. So I said, well, pull over. So I pulled over at the top of the road, got out. Because I couldn't pull down where I was, it was a busy road, and I ran all the way down, and she's there just looking at me. I'm running towards her, and I'm like, hiya, are you okay? And she's just looking at me, and I'm thinking, she's frozen, right? So I've gone over, I said, it's okay. I said, do you need help with anything? I said, because you look a bit stuck. Is there anything I can do? And she's looked at me, and she went, no, I'm waiting for a bus. And as I'm looking at her, I've looked and I've realised, oh, it's a fucking bus stop. But it's not a fucking obvious one. It's one of them stupid skinny little poles with a little sign. So now I felt like a fucking idiot. So she's like, thank you, dear. Thanks for checking anyway. And I said, it's okay. So now I had to walk off. And when I walk back, Biggles is there getting a fucking ticket off the traffic warden. Yeah, it cost me 30 quid that. That's a life lesson. Don't help out old people.
No, you can't say that. That's really mean.
No, of course. Joking. It was a joke. It was a joke.
Maybe just taking your surroundings.
Now, there was another time actually recently. It was a couple of months ago. We were literally on our way to Spain. It was at the top of this road, and there's a hospital there. Mm-hmm. So as we've gone down the hill, busy fucking road, always that way, I saw an old man. He must have been about 70 plus, and he fell over and he's gone straight on his face. So I've noticed it. Winston's with me. Billy's with me. I've just braked, jumped out the car, put the hazards on, jumped out the car. Now I'm blocking because it's a single lane road. And I've run across the road and I've got him up. The guy has checked to see if he was alright, pulled up aside in his car, just on his road. But the guy hasn't even got out the car. And the guy's a doctor. He's just undone his window. Are you okay? So fucking hell. So I've gone over and I've grabbed his arm, I've picked him up, and I said to him, right, hold on to me. So he's holding on to me. I said, just get your breath back. I said, and we'll talk. He said, it's okay, we'll be here all day if you want, it doesn't matter, you just take your time. So he's trying to talk and I'm like, just take your time. So he's holding on, and all I can hear is people beeping their fucking horns because I'm in the way. I've got lorries, I've got cars, people are beeping. They're getting pissed off. And now he's getting a bit nervous because he can see people are beeping. So now I'm having to comfort him and say, listen, don't care about them, just look at me. Let's talk about the day. It's a lovely day, isn't it? What made you fall over? You had a drink? Like that. I'm laughing with him and he gets the giggles, he gets his breath back. I said, right, where are you going? And he says, I'm going home, son. I said, okay, let me give you a lift. And he said, no, it's okay, I can walk. He said, I just tripped over. I said, okay, well, let me walk with you a little bit to the path. I said, they can wait. I said, fuck them. And he's like, they're very impatient. And I said, doesn't matter about them. So we're walking, and then he gets out of breath again. And I said, listen, I'd really like you to get in the car. And he goes, what car you got? I said, I've got the Bentley over there. I said, it's got massage seats and everything. And he goes, all right, son, let's go over there. So I'm helping him get in the car. As we're walking across the road, he's holding on to me. It's evident because he can't walk properly. Winston's got out the car. He's opening the door for him. Billy's jumped out. People are still beeping. They're still getting annoyed. And then we got him in his car and we drove off. But that just shows you people today. There was one time in Spain, me and Winston again, I think it just happens to us. we watched a young girl get hit off a scooter by a car. It happened right in front of us, probably as close as where that chair is to me. And she went smack, her whole body went straight into this car. Me and Winnie both thought at the time, she's fucked. Cars were going round her. I've run straight in the road. I've grabbed her, I've picked her up. Winnie's fucking put her on him. I've grabbed the bike, I've dragged her out on the road. I've seen this young lad with a camera trying to record. And I've gone straight over to him. What the fuck are you doing? And I've stopped that. She wasn't injured. She was okay. She was just shaken up. And then we called her dad and we waited there for her dad to come up. But it gives you, again, an idea of people. People are looking for that next viral video.
Yeah.
You know, people are too busy with their own lives to just stop and help other people. People are very fucking selfish. They don't want to do, I say, think of number one, make yourself stronger before, mentally stronger, physically stronger, financially stronger, and then you can help the ones around you that you love. But have a fucking certain level of etiquette and logic about you. You know, if there's people that are vulnerable, fucking help them. You're never going to be too big or too successful to give back a bit. You know, you don't need to put it on fucking social media. But there are people out there that I just think it's sad. I think it's sad. I was very lucky at the beginning because I was one of the first for this social media to happen, and it happened by accident. It was never intended. We didn't go out there to try and get a viral video like people do. Now, videos talking about specific subjects happen to be viral, and we've got many of them. But that's because of who we are and what we do, and I don't think a lot of the young kids realise that. So they're out there trying, and they're trying too hard. A lot of the time at the expense of others. Yeah.
What's one thing you'd say to those people?
It ain't gonna work. It won't work. It won't ever work. You're not gonna earn out of it. So, yeah, it won't work.
And one bit of advice for people who do want to be successful, what would you say to them?
Keep trying. Keep trying. Be prepared to fail, because you're going to fail many times. People are going to laugh at you. You're going to be humiliated, but it's how bad that you want it. The thing is, every time you fail, you're learning how not to do something, right? So if you keep failing and keep failing and keep failing, as long as you keep getting back up, you will succeed at some point. But this is the key. The fact that you will succeed, that's guaranteed. That is guaranteed. That technically is the easy part. What you've got to be careful is when you get that opportunity, when you succeed, you don't waste it. So it will sound easy for me to say, but because I'm already there. But when the successful part seems to me now of being the easy part is keeping it. That's the hardest part. Keeping away from the vultures. It's keeping everything, not only maintaining it but still progressing. That seems to be the hardest part. Getting there is the easiest part. The hardest part is sustaining it.
You seem like you're doing a pretty good job.
Trying,
at least. You're in the team. Well, finally, I do have 10 very quick questions.
Okay.
They are completely random.
Okay.
Are you ready? And I do have a script for this bit. Oh no.
I'm ready.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Number one pet hate.
Got too many. Got too many.
First one that comes to mind.
Drinking tea, slurping.
Oh, that's a good one to be fair.
Billy, when he does that. Also, listening to Billy eat cereal.
Or is it bad?
Clang, 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 as he's scraping the milk. There's no need for it, just fucking eat the cereal, you fat. He's fat. And you can hear how fat he is when he eats. Or it's another one that Billy does. It seems like I've got something against Billy, but...
I know, poor Billy, he's not even here to defend
when
himself.
When he says something in conversation, I always say that. Hold on, stop. I have to stop him. I've never heard you say that before. Never heard you say that. My pet hate is just Billy. That's my pet hate. Billy.
I feel sorry for Billy because he's not
Don't.
So I'm going to move on swiftly to the next question.
Okay.
Now, I hear you're a little bit of a dancer. So what's your favourite dancing song?
Ooh. Artist. Alkaline.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that like your go-to?
Yeah.
As soon as that
I've had many dance-offs. And I've won all of them. Yeah, I can move. Call me Snake Hips.
I need a video to edit this in.
No. There are videos online. Yeah.
I'll
50
find
and 0
one.
so far.
I will find one.
Okay.
I'm determined. It's my mission. Next question. What's your favourite car? All-time favourite.
Oh, what, owned?
Anything.
Has to be the Lamborghini Huracan or the Bentley. The Bentley GT has to be an all-rounder. Actually, yeah, that ticks all the boxes. It's got to be.
That's what you've got now, isn't
That's
it?
what I've got now, yeah. Got to be. It's looks, performance, practicality, everything. Comfortability. It's a ridiculous car. And it's absurd that I have one.
You're proud of yourself though.
Yeah.
Which is good.
God forbid I ever fucking post that I'm proud of myself. I get fucking criticised for that too. But yeah,
Literally,
I am.
social media. Okay, what's next for Aaron Lambo?
Own the world.
Really?
Yeah. Or I might fucking set up Prime Minister or something. Maybe
Okay.
Mayor.
Fair enough.
Something.
I don't know how serious should be here.
Anything's fucking possible.
It is possible.
Anything's possible.
Too right. So is that like on your vision board?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah, own the world. And then charge every fucker rent for being in it.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's what I'll do. That's my
Thanks.
plan. Yeah.
Next question.
Go on.
Burger or kebab?
Burger. Depending. What are we talking? Burger King, McDonald's?
Oh, any burger.
Or 99p ones from
What?
McDonald's.
Like a cheeseburger.
99p cheeseburger from McDonald's, they're the best.
Have you ever had?
Go
Hear
on.
me out. It's
Go on.
not going to be another Burger King breakfast.
She's an expert in Burger King and McDonald's, people. Here's a fun fact for you.
True that. Okay. Double cheeseburger, extra cheese, plain. Trust me.
From McDonald's?
From McDonald's.
I'll give that a go.
Beautiful. Do you have any regrets, and if so, what?
No.
None at all.
No.
Fair enough, because I suppose if you regret stuff, then you wouldn't be here
Well,
today.
Benny's grumbling
so-
now because you said cheeseburger.
Sorry.
No, I don't have any regrets.
None at all. That's good. That is good.
No.
Next question then. What's your go-to drink on a night out?
Mental vodka. See what I did there?
I see what you did there. To be fair,
But which one?
raspberry.
Was toffee, then it went to apple, now raspberry.
Raspberry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be raspberry.
Yeah, raspberry vodka.
Yeah, no.
But mentalzoo.com.
Like it.
Yeah, see what I did there?
See what you did there. Would you rather be able to pause time or go back in time?
Go back.
Why for?
Because I'd like to visit parts in history.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you like proper old time history then?
Yeah. I'd like to see, I suppose, quality of life and see certain events that happen. I find history fucking interesting
Okay.
and cool.
It is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Next question. What's the best part about being your own boss?
See, now the common answer to this would be to do what you want when you want, right? But anybody that's a boss, they really think about it, that's not true. You can't do what you want when you want. In fact, it's the fucking opposite. You're a slave not only to yourself, but you fucking your business. The best part, that's a question. Best part of being your own boss. I suppose you're in control of decisions.
Okay.
That's probably got to be the best part.
Okay. And last question. Obviously, this podcast is to inspire others, but what I want to know is my final quick question is what inspires you?
The people that want to see me fail. That inspires me to be a better person. And seeing the team, this isn't a cliche, this is I genuinely mean this, seeing the team, each individual get better at what they do and becoming better, doing things that they never thought that they could fucking do or imagine themselves ever doing, learning. That inspires me. That makes me that inspires me to get this shit even bigger, because it means that, you know, they're going to be even bigger. They're going to be even better. So there's a few things that inspire me. Yeah.
Well, Aaron, thank you very much for your time today. It's been great talking
You're
to
welcome.
you.
Is that it?
That's it.
That's it?
That's it.
Oh, that wasn't as bad as what I thought it would be.
No, see?
No.